Acting Police Minister Firoz Cachalia says he agrees with some of the statements made by former Police Minister Bheki Cele during his earlier testimony at the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee, but says they still require clarification. Cachalia, who's appearing before the committee, says he also believes that the disbandment of the PKTT was a political decision rather than an administrative one. He questioned who Minister Senzo Mchunu had consulted prior to making the decision, suggestion that greater transparency was needed in the process. Cachalia added that both the minister and the department's leadership should have had access to written documentation outlining the reasons for the decision.
There's a lot that he said that I wouldn't associate with specific matters. But on this matter, I think he was correct to the extent that he was emphasizing the fact that this decision was a political decision. Now, surely, task teams with specific mandates are time-bound. They're not immortal. No government program is immortal. It's subject to budgetary decisions, changes of priorities. So from my point of view, the main issue is not that the task team, that the minister took the view that the task team should be disbanded. It's that how it was, the process that was followed, how did he arrive at that decision? Who did he consult with? Were the reasons sound? There could have been reasons that would have justified that decision. And then how the decision was communicated is where I think the main questions are. So I can talk at some point, if it's necessary, about the constitutional and legal questions. I have reservations about framing the matter in those legalistic terms, but we can come to that. So in my mind, the main question is a question about decision making. It's about roles and responsibilities and how a particular kind of decision was made. So in the circumstances, it could well be that the decision was the wrong one because of the way the decision was arrived at and the way it was communicated, which is why we sit here today.
So, do I understand you to say also that there isn't necessarily a bright line between executive authority and operational management, especially in a portfolio like what you have, because an operational decision may, for reasons that it impacts on executive authority, that the better way to deal with it is through a consultative process?
Yes, Advocate. I have prepared some detailed reflections on this relationship, which I could go into or share them with the committee subsequent after this hearing. The one thing I would say is that I think that the communications between the minister and the head of the department, whether in SABC or any other department, as much as is possible, should be in writing. And perhaps in writing in the sense that both parties should understand that those are, in a sense, public communications, like my letter to the commissioner, which is now before you. So that there is I think that way you discipline the conversation. It becomes more, it's not informal, it's a disciplined, professional conversation. It's in writing. So, if you're making such a decision, you motivate the decision properly, and the response from the National Commissioner or a head of department should also be in writing.